والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبو القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
In the news of late, there's been a lot of discussion about terrorism again. And a lot of Muslims like to call other Muslims together in unity. And it's a very fine thing to call people to unite in a common good cause. But we have to consider what we are uniting in and what is the cause of the unity and indeed what end we hope to see unity achieve. So for instance, if I say unite so that you can build me a house, this might not be jaiz. It might not be a permissible reason to call you to unite. I'd be taking you for my personal worldly interest or the worldly interest of others. And so when we discuss uniting, we have to consider what the point of unity in each case is. Before I go on to that, looking at the events in Westminster, and terrible as they were, and of course we all pray for the souls of those who've been killed and for the recovery of those who've been injured. I looked at that event and I said, this is not a terror event. This was my instant appraisal of the evidence of the actions. I should say I've studied terrorism and counter-terrorism. And this is not terrorism. We had a man do a terrible act, but we don't know why he did it. And we never will, because of course he died in the commission of killing people. In law, we have two categories. We have murder and we have manslaughter. And if someone is insane, they can't commit a murder, but they can commit manslaughter and be sent to be detained at Her Majesty's pleasure. That's the law of England and Wales. In this case, it's been called an act of terrorism, but the definition of terrorism, is an act intended to cause fear. For an act to cause fear, you have to tell people you're going to do it and why you're doing it. These were absent in this case. So we have a dead man who may just have been crazy. Of course he may not have been, but in law, unless you have evidence, you give the benefit of the doubt. Now, Theresa May is saying in speeches, this was not an act of terrorism. We have no evidence. The police are saying, this was not an act of terrorism. We can't prove that. And yet we have dozens of Muslims, mostly ones funded by prevent schemes, instantly rushing to the internet and the television, saying we must unite against this terror. I asked myself whether this was a just response, since we don't know what the man's intentions were. In 2014, a schoolgirl was killed on a bus on Hagley Road, stabbed by a stranger who was saying things about angels telling him to kill her. She was a demon. A few weeks ago, a man was killed on a bus, stabbed to death multiple times, for no reason. Neither of these were acts of terror, but they should be. And this brings me to what we should unite upon. And that is, we should unite in upholding justice. As the Quran reminds us, you must uphold it against yourself, your near ones, even your parents. This is a heavy burden. And why is it so crucial to us? People say, unite in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Unite in this cause, that cause. But the command is to uphold justice. And there's a crucial reason here. Because the just act is the manifestation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's love for humanity. When we uphold a just action or a just position, we are acting in the full consciousness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most just. And this affects what we do practically in the world. How we treat not just the people we like, but the people we don't like. I find murder, in any of its forms, to be a repugnant act. An act that fills me with a tense, almost a rage when I see it. How could somebody end their life for such trivial reasons? I want to be famous, so I'll kill a few people. Somebody is talking too much, so I'll kill them. I find it quite unthinkable. There are one or two comedians that I might vary that on, but we treat all these people with justice by not acting against them. But we have to say that when we have a crime in front of us, we must know the cause, the motivation, and the intention of the people who adopted the cause or motivation. This is a lot to ask from people who are actually involved in an attack. But it's something that we should act of people who take leadership positions in the community. That their duty is not to say something they think will be nice for others to hear, but to say what they think the Muslim community should hear and how it should act. Now, a scholar at Birmingham University has published an article in the Birmingham Mail, I don't know if you read it, where he lists all the attacks around the country, around the UK, by people who were criminal or mentally ill. And the number of these outweighs all the deaths that we've suffered from terror attacks. I've never been the victim directly of a terror attack. I've been threatened a couple of times, but what I have been a victim of is violent crime in this city. And I know dozens of people who have been victims of violent crime. And I know scores of people who are frightened of becoming a victim of violent crime. So if our first interest, as it should be, is to protect the lives and property of ourselves and our fellow citizens, the first thing we should unite against is unlawfulness in the land. The people who disturb our peace and safety on a daily basis. This isn't to say we shouldn't take all precautions we can against global terror threats. It would be foolish not to. But if concentrating on those issues leaves the ordinary person defenceless in the street or in their home, we have to unite and say justice must be done to everyone in the land. And justice isn't about providing laws against particular people, it's about upholding law and justice to protect everyone as much of the time as possible. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَلَسْرِينَا الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I think it's my duty, having been very serious and practical in a theological way, to remember that it is the start of the month of Rajab, Allah's month in the year. And it's a month of great blessings, and of course, a month where we should concentrate on establishing peace amongst nations, peace for our nation, peace within our community, it's not always there, and some peace within ourselves, where it rarely is. These special months are blessings in themselves. They turn all our minds, not into ourselves, but to look into the community, into our faith. And they present opportunities for discussions that we might be afraid to otherwise make. They're months when we're called upon to not just say we love our fellow Muslims, our brothers and sisters, but we should be taking extra steps to manifest this love in generosity, kindness, and of course the most essential thing in this, a lot of patience. We have very high expectations that grows through these months, up to the month of Ramadan. And people are often quite short-tempered, quite intolerant, because they're starting fasts and they're not quite in control of themselves. But the rest of us are, and hopefully most of the time they are. And we have to look the other way when they go too far. We don't have to wade into situations and make them worse than they are. Sometimes not doing anything is doing a lot. And it's an act of worship just to say, I won't speak to them now. There is a right and a wrong time to tell people things, and there's a right and a wrong way to tell people about doing things. And these are months when we should reflect upon this and try to look at the example of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sallam, We should be emulating their patience, their sense of precise action. And this is something we should be contemplating throughout the month, throughout these months, in fact, and from there throughout the year. This is an opportunity given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify ourselves, to save ourselves and our near ones from the fire. And we should seize every opportunity in these months to earn more reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our deeds and for our actions. There are, of course, many amal recommended for these months. And I'm not going to go into details because I have to look it up in a book to see what we should be doing on any particular day. But the thing about amals and mustahabats is that they may only occur once the wajibat has been discharged. And one of the wajibats is taking care of neighbours and taking care of ourselves. If these are not performed, then the supererogatory acts become empty and worthless. This is why we must look at these months and see what in these months is the true wajibat, the thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most wants to see from me. And approaching the month that way, I believe we will all receive the maximum benefit of the blessings on offer. I suppose I should draw to an end. I think you all want to be back to work by 2 o'clock. Spiritually, I could perhaps start singing zikr to you. There's been times sometimes I turn into a Sufi. But one of the best of zikrs is, Oh Allah, bless Muhammad and his purified family and raise their status with you and in the world. Bless Fatima bint Muhammad, wa Ali ibn Abu Talib, wa Hassan ibn Ali, wa Hussein ibn Ali, wa Ali ibn al-Hussein, wa Muhammad ibn Ali, wa Jafar ibn Muhammad, wa Musa ibn Jafar, wa Ali ibn Musa, wa Muhammad ibn Ali, wa Ali ibn Muhammad, wa Hassan ibn Ali, wa Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Mahdi al-Muntazar, upon whose return we await. And we pray that he will bring your justice and mercy and dispel all evil from the lives of men. O Allah, remember your servants under oppression around the world. In each heart of the believers here, there is the name of a people worthy of your mercy, worthy of your help, and worthy to be relieved of all oppressions. O Allah, grant the prayers of the believers, grant them with your generosity, and bring aid to those who we do not know suffer the oppression, and relieve them all, for you are the most merciful and the most generous of givers. Wa Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.